Speaking of curses, if you had to decide who wins one-on-one, Jason or Michael Myers?
Oh, Jason, like not hands down. I tell people, they were like, every now a fan will post a comment. They're like, we want to see you do Michael versus Jason. And I said, well, who will be the shortest film in the history of cinema? Like, I like Myers. I grew up with Halloween. I love Halloween. I'm not slighting Michael Myers, but I love Jason so much more that there is no way that I would ever make a fan film that even would put those two at like even odds. It would just be a complete, like, it'd be like a early Mike Tyson. That it would be like one of those.
I
Just
think
real
the
short first rounds.
I feel like the only way that you could make that work is if you somehow made Michael sympathetic and Jason full on just villainous, and Michael is kind of inadvertently the hero of the story, so you have a bit of an underdog element going, but and then like maybe he loses and yet still kind of wins because he saves people. But I think in the end you have
But
to.
Mike Myers
The,
wouldn't save anybody.
that's why it's a problem. So
Myers would never save
I,
anybody.
I have
Like
no idea how you would make him sympathetic.
the only way you could ever make Jason sympathetic is if he was like protecting kids. I feel like that's the only thing that's off limits to Jason. I don't feel like kids are like, I mean, part 6, he's kind of coming after him and he's like, but
Yeah,
he never
you're right.
really goes like he goes after Tommy too. I don't know. It's sort of Tommy's sort of mesmerized by kids. He's sort of, I mean, Jason, he's sort of freaked out by it. I don't know. I feel like that would be his weakness.
I feel like Jason is of all the ones out there, probably the most sympathetic though, just given that he was this kind of tortured and bullied child, and that's something
He
everybody
was the
can
only
relate
one
to.
that didn't ask to be what he is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like
And
Michael Bay turned.
Michael, depending on who's telling the story, there's arguments that he did.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if you're going with the producer's cut, I guess it
Mhm.
could be he was ruined. But anyway, in the real, I mean, in the essentials, it's that Michael just went into that void of evil, and that he just became essentially evil incarnate, and that's what he is. Freddy was a child killer, molester, um,
Again,
Leatherface.
depending on which director we're talking about.
Yeah, mostly child killer.
Yeah.
But and then you have like Leatherface, who's like born in an inbred family that eats people. Barry Hills have Izzy. I mean, I guess Texas Chainsaw came first, but
Mhm.
um,
By a year or two.
yeah, by a year or two. So it's like, they're all like villains that were born out of evil, and like Jason is the only one that's sort of born out of redemption.